It's 6:30. We're going to start our extra meeting. I would like to have everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now do this. Yeah, just this. Okay. We are going to add some motions to the agenda tonight in order to correct the tax collection appointment made at the January 5th, 2026 reorganization meeting in order to be consistent with resolution number 4, 2025.
These motions are being made pursuant to Act 65 of 2021 it says if you don't have it on the agenda, you have to make a motion to add things to the agenda and then vote on it. So you're just coming to compliance with Act 65 of 2021.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
So make a motion.
Second?
So we're making a motion to add to the agenda. Is that, so you already made the motion? That's your motion?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carried 5-0. Public comment time. The Township Board of Supervisors allows up to 3 minutes during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the Board of Supervisors on agenda items only. Mr. Township Manager.
First, we have Mark Murphy, 57 Myers Road.
You said it for me.
Yep.
I'd like to just talk a little bit about the budget that I have seen floating around. I know that the revenue side changed about 20%. The expenditure side changed about 75%. My questions are, did all the supervisors attend and talk about this budget? Will it be advertised and will it be posted out front for however long it has to be?
I can answer that, if
Yes.
you don't mind. Underneath the second class township code.
I read it. You don't have to read it to me.
So,
You know
but
what it
I'm not
says.
reading, but again, they're going through the process, I believe, to go over the budget.
So you're not going to approve it tonight, correct?
It's my understanding it's not on the thing to approve.
Okay.
So what they're going to do is they're going to go over the budget with people, department heads and so forth, and the
But
public.
you didn't do that before you came up with this budget? You didn't include the department heads
We've met with one.
before you showed them this budget? Or they saw this budget and then they requested a
They
meeting
saw the budget and then.
and requested a meeting? So you
Yeah.
didn't meet with them before you came in? That was my question.
Yeah.
A few things on the item or the agenda or budget I'd like clarified would be the full-time wages all went down. Their union contracts, they're negotiated today go up 3%, 4%, 5% every year. I don't know how you could decrease them. Unless you're gonna lay people off. I don't know if that's your intention or not. On the admin side, I see a decrease on the part-time employee from 31,500 to 1,600, and the emergency management had a full-time for 20,000, now it's down to 1,600. Are you letting somebody go, or are you cutting Lisa's time, or have you talked to this person that well, I don't know what you're doing, so I just wondered if you talked to, you're definitely doing something. I'm just curious if you have talked to them. And then on my Park and Rec, you just cut them down to 0. The Park and Rec board the last 2 years has engaged this community, got our name out in front, and their programming and now shows up as a big fat 0. So are you doing away with them? If I could get answers to those questions at some point in time, I'd like to know. So thank you.
I don't know.
Thanks, Mr. Murphy.
Michelle Rubleski, 1621 Shadyside Avenue, also budget. Sorry if I
Okay, I just want to, first, before I start, just want to share some pictures about that, of our events that we have had this year. Particularly point the one out that shows George engaging with our residents at our breakfast. But our Parks and Rec has brought meaningful, and affordable, and memorable experience to the residents. For example, children were able to learn about and see and even touch different species of animals, many for the first time in their lives. The Breakfast with Santa had children cheering and chanting as Santa arrived. We purposely kept that event affordable so families with multiple children would be able to participate without a financial burden. The Easter egg hunt gave children the chance to meet the Easter Bunny and take photos without having the expense of a photographer. Founders Day, residents enjoyed the sharing of the rich history of our township with photos and articles that highlighted our wonderful community. Kennywood, we offered tickets for less than half the cost to our residents. Prices would cost a family of four $300 just to walk through the gate. We offered them for savings of more than 50%, meaning $128 for a family of four. That's a big significance. It costs a lot of money. Most people can't go do that because they can't afford it. We are all volunteers giving our time, energy, passion because we care deeply about the community. We work hard to stay in the budget and are fiscally responsible. Surrounding communities have a paid staff for their parks and recs. The salaries alone exceed our budget by at least 3 times. Having the parks and recs makes the township more attractive to home buyers, families, and where people want to live, where they have nice parks and community activities. George, you have seen firsthand the impact that we've had on our community. When you served on the commission, you attended our Breakfast with Santa, you experienced the joy and the excitement, the connection with everyone. You took time to interact with the children and families, and you witnessed how meaningful those moments were, especially for families who might not otherwise have access to something like this. Your perspective is unique because you have been on both sides. The experience gives you a deeper understanding and the value of our programs for our township. I respectfully ask you to make your decision based on what you know to be true from your own experience and from the real impact these programs have on the residents. Please do not be pressured to go along with others simply because their opinions differ from yours. Strong leadership means standing by what benefits the community, even when it's not the easiest position. And Zach, it is surprising to hear that you have opposition to the Parks and Rec, considering that your own in-laws served on it for years. They believed in it, and it deserves the same respect and support now. Thank you.
Jill, thank you as always.
Next is John Flower, 33 Crestview.
I would like to express appreciation to Parks and Recreation for the programming that they have implemented. I understand that they're a relatively new program committee in the township, and I attended a couple of their events this year, even though we don't have resident children now, but found that it was quite good. And as word gets out further, I think your attendance will continue to go up. I would like to encourage you. It's on page 10 of your budget, and most of the parks budget remains relatively in place, except for the programming committee, which was eliminated. I don't know what was necessary to send those funds to. That would be more important. But I would encourage you to reinstate the $10,000 that's requested. With 10,000 residents in the township, that comes out to $1 a resident per year, about 8 cents a month. And I think most residents would heartily concur with keeping it in the budget. And as an older adult, I regularly partake in in walking or jogging the grounds of multiple of the parks, particularly the community park, but others as well. I've been up to Billy Bell and so forth. And I see residents of every age, older than myself, and of course younger. I think it's something that is good, and I don't think it'll break the bank to keep it in place.
Thank you.
Judy Panasic.
I can't hear you. Yeah, yeah. You can do it.
Judy Panasic, Green Crescent Drive. First of all, welcome, Pete. Good luck. And I want to just say, before I get into my thing, the lighting ordinance that's on tonight, I hope the township's looking, I know it's like for streetlights, but I've said this a million times. If you guys have heard me, not once, it's been a million times. We light up the sky, this township. You cannot miss South Strabane. We have light pollution from everything up there. We need to do something. Costco's coming. We're going to have 400 more homes. Plus, God knows what else is going to be coming. We need to do something, or it's disgusting. We look like we're the Vegas Strip or Pittsburgh. I just want to thank the supervisors for opening up the budget. I want to remind that 3 of you that ran the township, you overwhelmingly won your seats. The last election that just happened was a 2-1. That hasn't happened in over 20 years, if ever. It was the largest number of votes for a singular person ever. You guys told the residents of this township what you wanted to do. You're doing it, and this is what they wanted. There may be people in this room against it, but this is the minority. The majority elected you. They told you what they wanted by voting for you, and I hope you stick with that. And I hope you're not, jaded or scared because of what people think. We have the highest millage in this, not the highest in the county, but we're higher than Peters, 3rd highest. Thank you, Jeff. It's gone up with the new fire tax. Seniors can't afford to live here. I mean, this is just getting ridiculous. And I thank you for looking at this. I think, if you listen to our auditor, they told you we have insane amount of staff, and, we've got a lot of stuff going on, and you guys are truly looking into it. And I thank you, because every resident counts, not just a handful. And, you want to talk about and you guys know, I've been going to meetings for 20 years. I've seen all kinds of parks boards. And, if people want to have a parks board, there should also be transparency. There's 10,000 residents. Are they the same handful of people going to all the events? Are they residents going to the events? Are we paying for it with our tax money for events, and non-residents are enjoying that? Going to Kennywood, you don't have to have a parks board to get those tickets. Every community does that. That's something that just happens. We have Easter egg hunts and all kinds of trunk or treats at churches in our township. We are not without in this township. If we didn't do some of these things, nobody would care, because for years we didn't have a parks board and nobody said anything. It was reopened up. From what I've heard, it has not had a lot of people coming to the stuff. And I'm not saying not to give them time, but to argue that this community of 10,000 people, more people use Citizens Library and we give them less money. If you want a history of every parks board going back, I can give you the history. And I have no problem with that. But I think if anything's going to happen going forward, we need to know if they're township residents, non-residents, how did the budgets look? They spent $850 to go to Simmons, and the amount of people that came, which weren't possibly even all residents, it ended up for a $19 person event. So if you and I went to the event, it would be 19 a piece. Our township paid $42 per person for a $19 event if we'd have gone on our own. It's great to have a parks board. I've volunteered and helped multiple people in the past. and Parks Boards. I was there when they did the first Community Day with Shane Rumbaugh's group and helped them with Tom Moore get the gifts for that, the Chinese auctions gift. That was the biggest one we ever had at this township. Things need to be done the right way. Budgets need to be in place. Things need to be in place that people are doing things correctly. And I just want to thank you, gentlemen, tonight for opening this up and taking our tax money seriously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Lovell.
Do you want to, can he sit and talk?
Sure. Sure. If
Whoops,
it's,
whoops.
Mark Loveland, 3 Anderson Drive, South Urbane. I'm writing to express my steadfast support for the current initiative undertaken by South Urbane Township, and to respectfully urge the board to prioritize the preservation of essential township services and programs in the formation of the 2026 budget. South Urbane Township, distinguished by the strength and coercion of the community, which is largely attributed to comprehensive services and programs it provides. It is particularly imperative to maintain full funding for the police and fire department, as well as the Parks and Recreation Commission. These services constitute vital components of public safety, quality of life, and community well-being. Parks and Recreation Commission has had a profound and beneficial impact on my personal experience during a transitional period between employment. The programs and activities offered by the commission provided stability, fostered community connections, and facilitated a sense of belonging with the township. Participation in these events enabled me to establish new networks, engage with fellow residents, and remain actively involved during a challenging time. The commission's initiatives were instrumental in maintaining my engagement and well-being. Beyond my individual experience, the Parks and Recreation Commission consistently organized events and programs that serve residents across all demographics. These offerings promote community pride, encourage healthy lifestyle, and provide invaluable opportunities for residents to gather, interact, and strengthen social ties. The significance of these programs extends beyond recreation, and they are integral to the township's social fabric. Equally, the maintenance of full staffing and funding for the police and fire department is essential. These departments ensure the safety and security of township residents and are foundational to sustaining South Urbane as a community where families feel secure in living, working, and raising children. Any reduction in these services would have substantial long-term consequences that far outweigh my short-term physical savings. I respectfully request that the board carefully consider the tangible and enduring impact of budgetary decisions and safeguard the services that are fundamental to the vitality of South Urbane Township. Continued investment in public safety and the Parks and Recreation Commission constitutes an investment in the well-being of all residents. Thank you for your attention, leadership, and unwavering commitment to the citizens of South Urbane Township. I went through a similar deal like this, and it didn't turn out well either.
Thank you.
That's it for the agenda.
That's it for
Comments, yeah.
the public comment.
My name's Paul Winter. I'm on Locust Avenue. I want to touch base on a couple things that I've heard this evening. If it's true what they're saying about cutting an entire salary for a part-time employee out of this. Have any conversations been had with said employee? Is the true intention to just start slashing employees throughout this township that give their time and dedication to it? Let alone you're already going to cut the entire budget out for Parks and Rec, where God forbid, out of the entire, $8 million budget this township has, a couple $1,000s actually go towards township residents for something that they can use. Why cut it? If it's a vendetta about transparency and what you can and cannot see, township resident or not, change the rules. But if it's a vendetta to just get rid of them and save 8-10 grand, what's the point? You're going to sit here and pinch pennies where you need to. God forbid something actually goes back to the residents.
It was also two, I guess these were emails, Jordan?
Folks fill out the form online.
Oh, did that? Okay. So this is by James and Wendy Tiano. And they went, Dear South Strabane Supervisors, we would appreciate that you would consider keeping South Strabane Township as a safe and growing community by making gains that include our fire and safety, as well as providing amenities that enhance family life in our township. Township families need to be assured that updated fire and police protection will continue to be supported. As crime becomes more sophisticated, our police force needs to continue to rise to that level. It is common sense that better protection comes with a price tag. However, the price of falling short of that protection may even be higher. Our current tax base should be more than adequate to support these expenditures. Amenities are also important to have available after safety and security, but are vital to provide at first-class township like ours. Our parks are very nice and well-used part of our community. We need to continue to offer clean, well-maintained parks and a variety of activities that keep neighbors and families happy and healthy. Attracting new residents can be a side benefit as we have offering that residents may safely use. Please consider maintaining a budget that will support and improve fire, safety, police, and features like parks and recreation that are vital parts of our thriving community. Another form was by Dale Flowers, South Strabane. Dear members of the South Strabane Township Board of Supervisors, I am writing to lend my support for the police department, fire department, and all budgeted departments in the township. Full funding needs to be preserved for the police and fire and maintenance departments, as well as the Parks and Rec department. These services are a vital part of what makes South Strabane Township a wonderful place to live. The Parks and Rec Commission provide continued programs and events for our community to enjoy and improve community pride. Eliminating this commission funding would be detrimental to civic pride. Thank you for your time and consideration. Dale Flowers. That's all with public comment. Okay, under unfinished business at this time, I would like to recognize Peter Stefanski as our new township manager. He was brought on, he's got his first weekend, and so everything, because the bond wasn't in place, everything that we had at the last meeting was tabled until he had his bond arrive. So we have, for the appointment of secretary, motion to appoint Peter Stefanski as board secretary.
You need to make a motion.
Remove
You need to
from-
make a motion to remove.
Okay,
So
I need to make a motion to take it off the table.
here's what I suggest to make it, move it a lot more quicker. If you want to make a motion to remove from the table items for A, B, C,
Okay.
D, and E. You can have someone make that motion.
Yeah.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, now I.
Now you can vote them
Okay.
separately.
Motion to appoint Peter Stefanski as board secretary.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to appoint Peter Stefanski to the township as township representative for Washington County Tax Collection District for 2026.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Motion to appoint Peter Stefanski as the township representative on the Washington County Sewer Council for 2026.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Motion to appoint Peter Stefanski as the right to know officer.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Motion naming the Board of Supervisors Chairman and Township Manager as primary spokespersons for the Board of Supervisors.
So moved. Second.
Open for discussion? No? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed?
No.
No.
No. Motion denied. 3-0, 3-2. Under new business. Motion to adopt a purchasing policy. Mr. Minkle,
The
would
purp-
you?
Yes, this is a policy to help the township streamline and organize its purchasing. There's a couple things we have to modify, but Mr. Webb and I both know, when dealing with school districts, we always had a purchasing policy for different departments in order to buy things. I take the position, even though things are budgeted, they still have to go through a process to be approved by the Board of Supervisors. So this policy is something that's going to put something in place. I believe we also sent over to the township manager a purchase order form that should be completed by different administrative departments. And that way we know what's going on. The things that I just want to make note of is on the first paragraph, number 5. It should be between $500 and $13,200. You know, you should try to get 3 proposals if you can. Between $13,200 and $24,500, again, it's required to have 3 proposals. For anything over $24,500, you basically have to comply with the code. You have to have advertising. That's the law in Pennsylvania. And also it should be $25,000 for prevailing wage. It hasn't changed. It's supposed to change, but someday it may change. Also, I just want to add that we will also have a situation where there's an emergency, like something breaks down over the weekend and something that needs to be done. The person that noticed that there's an emergency situation will notify the township manager, who will then give approval and then advise the board of what goes on. So this is just something we do in school districts. We do this at other different municipalities, and we have a format so people understand what has to be done. Most of this will go through the department heads to the township manager, and the township supervisor should be aware of what's going on.
Thank you. Motion to adopt purchasing policy.
So moved.
Second,
Second. Second.
all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion carried 4-1. Motion to authorize the solicitor to research the creation of a streetlight district ordinance for the township.
And in some municipalities I represent, we have what they call lighting districts. And this we'll see if we can implement it, but we have lighting districts and basically go through a process of making assessments on those lighting districts. I'll do some research I'll get back to you for the February meeting.
All those in favor,
So
make,
moved. So moved.
all those in favor, I'm sorry, I make a motion.
He jumped the gun.
Yeah. Motion? Second,
I'll second.
all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Motion to rescind the appointment of tax collector at the January 5th.
Did you skip over one here?
I'm gonna do these motions and then go back to
Okay,
the
all right.
motion to rescind the appointment of tax collector at the January 5th reorganization meeting to be consistent with Resolution 4, 2025 as tax collectors.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Motion to appoint tax collector to collect all real estate, fire tax, and per capita tax.
So moved.
So that we say tax, like you're saying, motion point the township tax collector. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what you guys are, all right. Just want to add the word township to that.
Motion to appoint township tax collector to collect all real estate taxes, fire taxes, and per capita taxes. All those in favor say aye.
Make a motion? We have a motion here?
Yeah, I made the motion, didn't I?
Yeah. Did anybody second it?
So he's amending, who made the initial motion? George, so he amended his motion to include the word township. Who made the second?
Nobody.
We need a second to that. Then.
Second.
So Jeff's seconding that motion.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Motion to appoint Keystone Collection Group to collect mercantile tax and local service tax on behalf of the township, subject to an agreement between the township and Keystone Collection Group.
So moved.
Yeah, second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried 5-0.
If I may add, these were recommendations of our retiring tax collector who's been here since 1996. These are suggestions that she said, changes that she suggested that we made. Trinity School District has already done this for the mercantile tax. We just want to be consistent with what Trinity School District's doing, so our businesses only have to deal with one taxing authority.
Motion to use the current agency collecting delinquent real estate tax, fire, and per capita tax.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. And then review of adopted 2026 budget and advertise a special meeting for discussion.
So basically what, at the last, I believe I wasn't here at January's meeting of January 5th because I was at 3 or 4 other meetings that night, but I assume you guys made a motion to open the budget for 2026, correct?
Yes.
So it's- I wasn't here, I'm saying, I assume. All right, so there was no motion to open the,
Jolene, you remember that? Did we vote to reopen the budget last time? You remember your notes? That's okay. That's okay. They might have.
well, if you didn't, and like you have, just so you,
Item 6 under new business, motion to reopen the 2026 annual municipal budget and appropriately advertised.
so that motion was made then?
That was correct.
I wasn't here. So just so you're aware of it, the law provides in the state of Pennsylvania that after every municipal election occurs in the November the board the following year has the ability to reopen the budget for that period, for like this year, 2026. There is a procedure that you must follow. According to law, you have until February 15th to adopt your reopened budget. And basically, you have to keep in mind, you also have to advertise your reopened budget for at least a period of inspection for at least 10 days. So whatever you do, you have to go through a public process to reopen the budget, which I guess you're starting today, or started last Monday. So I think what you need to do is you have to advise people as to what you're looking at in terms of increasing revenue. I know I was at a meeting last night, we reopened the budget for another municipality. It was a borough, but you go through a process. So here, I think what you need to do is you need to meet with yourselves in a public forum to go over all these different items you're looking at doing, okay? Because those are questions people ask. You had people here tonight concerned about the, I guess, reduction of different services. But as I will tell you, it's like I'm giving everyone a lecture. You know, we had different sources of funding that helped supplement your budgets over the past 5 or 6 years. As you're all well aware, in 2019, we had COVID. Then the state gave what we call ARPA funds out, or the federal government gave out ARPA funds, your COVID money. People use a lot of that money to balance the budget and to buy things. That's no longer there. So that's one source of income you no longer have. The second thing you have to be cognizant of is Act 13, your impact fee. The law provides basically that when you drill a well, it has a life, you can only collect impact fees on that specific well for a period of 15 years. If it's re-drilled, then it starts up again. But according to information that I've reviewed, according to, it comes from the Marcellus Shale Coalition, is that when you drill a well, it normally produces, like say, $70,000 in year 1. In year 15, or as it goes down the thing, there's less production of gas, and that well pad produces less impact fee for you. I know that I was at a meeting earlier, I think on the 6th of January, and people were talking about how used to be the biggest producing wells were in Greene County and Washington County. That's now moved like to Bradford County and all that. So the amount of gas being produced is not what it once was. So I'm just telling you folks, when it comes to impact fees, it's going down. It should be going down, but unless they drill the Utica. But right now, be cognizant of the fact that source of income that we rely upon, and I can tell a lot of places I have, we rely upon that for capital improvements. One place they relied upon that for a police force. Now that's gone down quite a bit. So I'm just make sure you're aware of that revenue source will start to dry up. So you're here today, you have to call special meetings to discuss this budget with yourselves, your department heads, and your folks. Okay?
Yep.
These are public meetings, right?
Should be public meetings because it was an issue being raised. I would have public meetings. You know, you have 3 department heads. You have the chief. He should meet. I think he already met with some of these folks, I believe. Police chief. And I think you have your Mr. Stefanski, your township manager, along with Marie should meet with you folks. And you should also meet with your fire chief, because and also your road crew guy, to discuss the different things. But you should have public meetings and start discussing these things with folks. And if you're making cuts, you tell people why you're making those cuts, okay?
These will be advertised public meetings, correct?
According to Act 65 of 2021, and according to the Sunshine Act, all meetings have to be advertised.
In fact, these meetings were to have already been advertised, correct, Jordan?
That was my understanding.
And the newspaper did not follow through and do what they were supposed to do. So it's the newspaper's fault they were not advertised. Correct, Jordan?
I don't know. At the last meeting, the only meeting that I was aware of was for this night, the 13th. I wasn't informed of the dates of our meetings.
Well, you can, according to Sunshine Act, if you schedule your meetings, according to Sunshine Act, for special meetings, the notice has to be in the newspaper 24 hours in advance of the meeting. If you want to set up a schedule, my office will be glad to help you guys set up a schedule, and we'll do the advertisement. But every time you have a meeting, according to Act 65 of 2021, you have to have an agenda also that has to be posted online, and I suggest on the front door and the back door, so people know what's going on. Okay? You want to start doing a schedule to have these public meetings? Because again, if you have to do it by February 15th, it means you have to have it has to be that in the newspaper probably by February 4th, and with the Observer Reporter being the way it is,
Right.
it probably takes 4 days just to get in the newspaper anymore. It used to be I could get them in the next day, but I can't. So you better start doing it. You've got, today is what, the 13th?
Yes.
I would say basically you have 17 or 18 days to get your act in gear about this new budget.
Well, the next public meeting we were going to try to do was the 19th.
Well, it still can be done. I would do 19th, and how many days do you think it'll be, how many days do you think you'll need to meet with the department heads?
We could probably do it. Well,
Just depends on their availability. If we could possibly just do it in one day. In one meeting.
We had tentatively had a meeting scheduled from our last meeting where we discussed this for Monday, the 19th at 7 o'clock.
During the budget workshop, we used to do it in 2 days. 2 departments and 2 departments. You attended those before. So this would be more or less a budget workshop. I don't know whether you can get them all in one day. What I was reading, there's a lot to discuss.
So, I mean, even though it's a federal holiday, doesn't mean you can't hold a meeting, by the way. I mean,
Will the township office be open Monday, January the 19th?
okay.
So we can have a meeting.
So what other days? So if you have me on the 19th, what other day do you want to have? What's convenient to your schedule, folks?
I think it was the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
I can do the 22nd.
I think we need to have Peter tomorrow get a hold of all the department heads to make sure
Right.
dates are available for them, because we want them there. Because it's basically going to affect everybody.
We have them here right now, don't we? Chief, can you be here on the 19th?
Yes.
Chief, can you be here on the 19th? Jordan?
Kevin?
Kevin? So what time? 7 o'clock, 6:30? What time are you gonna do this?
6:30.
So the 19th at 6:30. That will be to meet with the public, with your township department heads. Hey, Maria, are you available that day also? So those 4 will be here on the 19th. Discussion will center on them. Yes, sir.
That can include Parks and Rec as well, since they're still an entity.
We've never met with Parks and Rec individually.
Goes under the road crew, doesn't it?
It will be a public meeting, and it'll be public comment time.
So the 19th at 6:30, you'll have a meeting with those department heads. What other day you want to meet? That 19th is a Monday.
And if there's stuff to finish up, the 22nd.
That'll be
Michelle, would you like
Thursday.
some input on this? Would you like to have input on these meetings?
22nd?
Why don't we include her?
Sure.
Let's put her down too. Let her have her say about what's going on.
Yep.
Parks and Rec.
So the 19th at 6:30, the 22nd at 6:30, which is a Thursday.
Yep.
Now, the following week,
Marie, are you available 22nd?
now hopefully you can wrap it up on the 22nd. We can advertise. Because I don't want to wait, if you're going to do this,
Right.
I don't want you guys to wait the last minute and have everything fall apart on you.
Yes.
All right, so let's look at the 19th, 22nd.
At 6:30.
Who's got what's the? Calendar? Anyone have a calendar up here? Let me see that black. Let me see George's black.
Does he want a calendar? No.
So the 19th, the 22nd. You have a regular meeting on the 27th also?
Yes.
So hopefully we'll have everything in place, and on the 27th, we can make a motion to advertise our budget. That will put you
Yeah.
hopefully the 31st, which should give you sufficient time. So the 19th, the 22nd, If we have some problems on the 22nd, we'll just, maybe come and continue the meeting for another day or something. But that's the game plan, 19th, 22nd, and the 27th. Let me give it back to George. With the board's approval, I know Mr. Stefanski's still getting his feet wet. I mean, he's very competent from my perspective, but I'll have my office advertise the meetings for the 19th to 22nd at 6:30. Is there a motion to advertise those meetings for those dates and times?
Why don't we do this first thing here? Vote on the motion, the review of the adopted 2026 budget and advertise special, we can do the special meetings, but we need a motion on review of the budget.
So
see what the board wants to do.
So shouldn't that be tabled until after we have our workshops?
So they already made a motion to reopen the budget, I believe, on the 5th. I don't know. I'll take someone's word for it. I wasn't here. So the motion's already out
That's
there.
what they just said on our record. We did do that.
All right, so all you're gonna do is a motion to advertise special meetings to review the proposed reopened 2026 budget for January 19th at 6:30 PM, January 22nd at 6:30 PM, and provide, with invitations to the department heads on both days. Is that someone's motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No.
Motion carried 3-0 or 3-2.
He didn't go to WVU.
Oh, there you go.
Go with the W and J.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at?
We just left off on 5C.
We're in the public comment time.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this time, the Township Board of Supervisors allocates up to 3 minutes during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the Board of Supervisors on any matter.
We have Corey Geiser signed up.
Good evening. I stand before you today not to accuse, but just to inform. Not to inflame, but to ask for honesty. What I'm about to share matters to every resident here because it concerns transparency, trust, and the way decisions are being made in our community. Recently, an unpublicized meeting took place between local government officials and an individual who is not an active member of the fire department at Station 1 in the Pancake neighborhood of our township. This meeting wasn't announced to the public, requested to the president, chief, or any other member of the department of the township. It was not placed on an agenda, and residents who have the right to know who is influencing decisions that affect public safety were left completely in the dark. That silence is the problem. Local government exists to serve the people, not to operate behind closed doors. When meetings occur without notice, without public record, without accountability, it creates the appearance, if not the reality, of deception. Whether intentional or not, secrecy just erodes trust. Let me be clear. This is not about personal attacks. It's about process. It's about openness. It's about ensuring that decisions involving our fire department and other institutions are built on, those institutions are built on service, integrity, sacrifice. We take those oaths and made with full transparency and public awareness. When a non-active member is granted a private audience with officials, questions naturally arise, right? Why this individual? Why no public notice? Why were residents excluded from conversation that could influence public resources or the safety of us? In a healthy democracy, residents don't have to discover important meetings after the fact. We shouldn't have to rely on rumors or leaked information to understand what our leaders are doing. Transparency is not optional, right? It's the responsibility of you, me, anybody else that's in public service, it's responsibility. We take that oath. Tonight, I'm asking for three simple things, nothing more. First, full disclosure of who attended the meeting and what was discussed. Second, a commitment that all future meetings of public significance are properly noticed and open. Thank you for that last, motion that y'all made. And third, accountability. Make a public promise that it won't happen again to everybody in this room and Zoom and everybody else that couldn't make it tonight. Our community deserves honesty. We deserve openness, and we deserve a leadership that remembers who they answer to. Every resident here that, relies on us to make the right decisions. Last comment, right? Always leave on a high note. Sunlight builds trust. Silence destroys it, right? Keep speaking and help us out. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to answer some of that. In the almost 65 years that I've either lived or had a business in this township, the only fireman that's ever come to my business or to myself was George Thomas. When that ladder truck was purchased, he came and asked my business and my family to make a donation. My business and my family was one of the 3 or 4 highest donators for that truck at the time. Again, he is the only person for the South Germain Township Volunteer Fire Department that ever reached out to us for anything. So yes, George is a friend. George is the only person that, like I said, I'm not going to repeat that again. And I asked him, I've never been to the Pancake Fire Department. Okay. I took my CDL test in the old building. How many 100 years ago when they started the CDL? How many 100 years ago was that? All right. One of the first things that was said to us was, what right do you have to be here? Well, let's go back to what you said. The taxpayers pay your electric bill. The taxpayers own the vehicles that were in there, and the taxpayers pay your insurance. And we are elected by the taxpayers to go and know what's going on in our township. And I didn't see a problem with that unless you were doing something you shouldn't be doing. With that being said, I have a question for you. Are you building a training center in the old building?
A training center? Yes.
What?
Yes.
Okay. You have building permits?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
You have a building permit?
Yes.
Okay. Did the supervisors approve it?
Don't need to.
Okay. All right. Well, Washington County provides those services to the taxpayers for free. I don't know why we need to own one. Okay. The next thing I want to bring up.
Stop. Go back. Explain that.
It's not a fire training center.
It's not a fire training center.
Okay. And they have they do classes for the county, for the fire departments, and they have classes at Cal U for the fire departments. Okay. So yeah, I don't understand why we need that. I will tell you the condition of those buildings, they were pig pens and they were deplorable. Okay. One of my concerns was we have a truck advertised for sale that belongs to South Germain Township. That truck that's advertised for sale says it's in service every day. Okay. But that's funny. It hasn't been inspected since 2024. Are you using a truck that hasn't been inspected since 2024? That sat outside over there for how many months? In fact, Mr. Murphy, I think you made the comment to me one day. Why is that sitting out there? That shouldn't be sitting out there. So no, I understand where you're coming from, and I get it. But let's face it, township vehicles are being stored there. Okay. And if we want to go there and look and see what's going on, or again, our insurance is paying for it. I was embarrassed. It was just a pig pen, stuff laying everywhere. It really wasn't even a safe environment.
We just went through a safety audit from the states and passed with flying colors, 0 comments.
Okay, well.
And I submitted those findings to the board of supervisors.
I understand that. But
So let me pause you. How long have you been a supervisor?
2 years.
How many times have you joined us in our stations?
Well, how many times have we been invited?
Multiple.
Oh, yeah?
Mhm.
When?
I did it a couple times. Bob's been there. Russ has been there.
Okay, and Bob and Russ have been part of the team for how many years?
Yeah.
Okay,
George has been there. He was with us not that long ago, maybe what, a couple weeks.
you were never at Pancake.
Never a pancake.
No.
Typically, we don't have open Pancake because we don't operate out of Pancake.
Yep. Jordan did
Yeah,
invite.
but Pancake is typically our work center, right? That's where things go to be worked on. It's an active work zone. Is it gonna be clean? No. Road department, right? Every day, make a mess of it. Do you clean it up perfect every night? You want to.
Well, I was there
The-
this
the-
morning
the-
at
the wish
6:30
is-
and it was pretty damn clean to me.
The wish is to get it clean every night, but you know what? Things happen. We don't get to be perfect. You know, middle projects, what happens when the tones drop? You want us to stop and clean and wait for tomorrow to go respond somewhere? I get it. We can make excuses for both sides as much as we want. It doesn't matter. However, we are an open book. We are your fire department. Come down. The door's open 24/7. We have staffing now 24/7. You want to go to Pancake? Just ask. Chief, assistant chief, your president, anybody that wants to give you a tour. We want to show off what we have, and we want to show off the state of art equipment that we've been very fortunate enough to accumulate and present to our residents. You can't tell me that every station out there has got state-of-the-art battery equipment, the new hoses, all the equipment that's latest and greatest to make, our firefighters safer and have a better opportunity of getting out of that fire uninjured. The goal is everybody goes out and everybody walks home, nobody goes to the hospital, everybody, but reality hits us when these state-of-the-art equipment allows us to have a higher percentage of getting out of it safer every time. And I'll take a second, the grandstands. We've got a great volunteer community, right? There's a lot of people out there that volunteer their hours to really help for the right reasons. You don't know my face. Most of this community doesn't know my face. I don't want to be that picture perfect person that's always in the media, whatever it is. That's not what I do it for. I work hard every week to get out there and help raise money and funds to support a department that supports my family and my neighbors and my friends. Do things transparently, do things as adults, and let's build this community stronger. Don't hide, don't do things in secret. Come to the table, let's be adults, and it will get better. Trust me, it will get better.
Are you committing to total transparency with the supervisors about the finance of the volunteer fire company?
We give you a document every year. Every year.
That's funny. I've
Wide
asked for
open.
that and I've never gotten it. I've asked for a contract between, which we're supposed to have.
Hmm.
I've got a blank contracts, but I've never gotten an executed copy from our fire chief. We've asked for
I
these
don't
things.
think that's
and never
changed
gotten
in
them.
years.
Huh?
Yeah, and nothing's changed. The contract you have on file is the current
Then
executable
why can't you
contract.
get me an executed copy?
After your request about 6 months ago, I asked if the board would meet with the board of fire departments so that we could share those
Okay,
documents.
I asked for a copy of that. Can't you get it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Is that it?
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
And for the record, Jordan has invited me up to Pancake. And I said, I'd like to make that happen. Between that time, Jeff said, hey, we're going up to see the Pancake Fire Hall, and I had never been there. And I said, oh, I'll go along. And that's how, but no meeting took place. It was not a meeting.
You were a group of government officials?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Grouping, taking a tour of the facility without the representatives
Correct.
of the department.
Well, when you use the word meeting,
But it was a meeting, 3 of you met at that location, unannounced to anybody.
Oh, great. But I understand. Okay. All right. But all right, let's go ahead and go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, I just want to clarify our engine that's currently posted for sale states that it is in serviceable condition. And under the miles and hours, it also says still in use, because even moving it from the front building to the rear building or firing it up to run the pump, which we do often to ensure that it's able to be sold in good condition, increases those numbers. So if I put numbers out and then I say that it is not in use or will not be used, and they come and the mileage is off or the hours are off, we're going to get questions asked. That's the information on the public listing.
So you said it's in a serviceable condition?
Correct.
Okay, not in service, but serviceable.
In serviceable condition.
And how are we selling this, through municipal or what are we?
Correct. And it was advertised.
And it's as is condition, I hope?
Correct.
All right.
It's made very clear.
All right, because I have an issue right now someplace else. And underlined. Go, okay, go ahead, Ms. Panassi. You want to come up here again?
I didn't realize we had to sign two different forms.
No,
it's. I just want to say again, I want to remind everybody who won, and by an exceedingly, a number we've never seen before. But if we want to talk about transparency, you know, I have had a lot of people complaining to me that right to knows from this township, and this is nothing against the new manager. I know he has not been a part of this, but people who've been asking for right to knows for months and aren't getting them from our township, they want to know why. And it's for all kinds of different things. And I think the residents of this township can't get information from it. And I think as a board, you need to ask your staff why they're not getting these right to knows out. And then even tonight hearing Mr. Bull, I mean, I know you guys have asked for stuff over the years. I've gone to meetings, listened to meetings online. And if they had it, why haven't they given you the information? I think that while you're going over everything, if you find out things, I think the residents need to find out all of this misuse, how every dime is being used by these the different groups that are so upset that you might be cutting funding. Please go through and document everything. It should all be open to the public, all the misuses of money, the transparency of what's being spent. When we have an auditor saying that we had over $700,000 over budget last year for one department, that's a lot of money. And like I said, everyone wants transparency, let's go for it. But let's make sure that everything gets out there and not just what certain groups want. And Mr. Bull, you brought up George Thomas. I agree with you. When he was on the volunteer fireman, he did everything and he was phenomenal. And I think for anybody to ever question someone who's standing in this community is what George Thomas is just it's a shame. And that needs to be questioned. But thank you guys both, you guys for doing everything.
Well, he is a life member of the fire department.
Yeah, that's what I've heard is there's life members. And I was on the phone with someone this evening before I got here and they said they were at both buildings today and nobody would respond to them, that they were knocking on doors and it was just a resident. And also if it's a public place, I don't understand what the big deal was. Like, again. I got that, Jordan, but here's the thing. They did something and it's like, you're having hissy fits over something that was nothing. Yeah, we are. You have people coming here and everybody's attacking them for doing something. Jordan, nobody in this township's allowed to say anything without getting jumped on if they critique anything. And Jordan, you have your opinion.
Right.
The township has spoken.
All right.
That's why Zach
All
won.
right. All right. Wait. All right. Hey, guys, wait. All right. Is there anybody on that machine that wants to talk, by the way, Jordan?
Talk into the microphone, Dennis, and just ask for.
Is there anybody on that machine, or what do you call that? Zoom that wants to talk?
That machine.
Hey.
He went to WJ.
Does anybody want to talk on there at all?
Not that anyone has.
All right. Okay. You want to recognize?
Did you sign in? Okay.
John Flower, Crestview Road. At the December meeting, there was a lot of information shared and it was stated that there would be one or even two meetings scheduled about what's happening with the AI process in January. But I haven't heard anything yet. Is there still a date being set or what's the timeline?
Mr. Makel,
What is he?
Today?
He said artificial. He said AI. I'm like, I'm trying to. We're in the process of developing something right now, which we should have hopefully make the first presentation by the end of the month. It's been taking a lot of different situations and so forth. So we should have a final product hopefully by the end of the month, if not sooner. Okay? All right. Anybody else?
Over
You
here.
gonna come up, state your name and address, please, or state something.
My name's Teresa Shape. I live on Sunset Boulevard. I just wanted to ask, is the proposed budget available to look at for everyone? Is it on?
No, it should be.
Okay.
Is it on? It should be put online.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask.
It's advertised in the paper to be viewed at the front desk.
Right, but they haven't put it out for advertising.
I believe it is. I looked at it today online.
Is it online?
It's online.
That's the adopted budget.
That's the adopted
All right, so,
budget.
okay. All right, so let me stop while we have, here's what I suggest. I suggest basically that this proposed reopened budget for 2026 be placed online or on that machine, is whatever you want to call it. So it's out there for people can view it online. I also suggest that basically we start the process, this is the initial draft, if you want, that you place that out in the front desk for people to take a look at, okay?
Because I'd like to look at what they technically proposed, which is reopened now. I want to see what it ends up being, because it should be different.
I haven't, it's,
Right, thank you.
okay, so Mr. Stefanski, does the board agree with that
Yes,
recommendation?
yes. Does that need a motion?
So here's so basically, so Mr. Stefanski, you're gonna put that online. You're gonna put that on the front, whatever, that desk or something you said, to take a look at. Most people nowadays like everything online, like Mr. Murphy. He's pretty good on a computer. The reopened one.
That's the proposed budget.
Talk about the new,
The
the
budget
reopen
that
one.
they
And normally we don't do that until we're done working on it and it's made available for advertisement. And it really should not be put on until we go through our work sessions and what we're available to what we're going to advertise as our newly adopted budget.
That's your discretion. I mean, that's up to you, but if you're going to start the process, but
So we get a decision on.
Yeah, let's, once we get through our work sessions and to have all of our input, then we'll put that online. That's been our practice in the past. Why would we change from that?
How did we get this red line thing?
I don't know. How did you get it?
I believe Mrs. Hoffman, somebody sent it to her.
Right to know. Fill out right to know. You can see it.
Okay.
so it's already,
Somebody met on this to.
Right, on Monday morning.
Well, that was given to Mrs. Kaufman to start working, incorporating it into her numbers. It was never meant to be put out to the public. Because it's still a work in progress. Period.
Well, who came up with it? I mean, you didn't meet with the department head. Now you're backtracking.
Yet.
Yeah.
But now you're backtracking. I'm just saying.
You gotta start, you gotta start somewhere, Mark.
Let's start, somebody had to put that together.
Okay.
Who put it together?
You already asked that question. Maybe
All right,
that's
I
the
did.
department head.
All right, move on.
all right, so we're not going to, so the department heads have this new budget, this proposed budget, Marie.
They do now, because I sent it to them. Because I thought they didn't see it.
No, I'm just,
Someone was meeting with them, so I sent it to them.
anybody else?
Supervisors time. Township supervisors have up to 3 minutes to address any items.
Mr. Weber, I have something I'd like to read.
Weber.
Yeah, because you're the one, he always, when do the supervisors only have 3 minutes?
Go ahead.
Thank you. All right. Many of you are wondering why we are opening the budget. In fact, our former chairman was quoted in the newspaper saying spending plan was fine. He continues saying, I just thought it was appropriate for the 2026 year, and added that he felt there was ample time to raise concerns about the budget between budget meetings in the fall and the final approval of the budget in December. He was in fact right from the standpoint of the previous majority of the board, but judging from the results of the 2 previous municipal elections, they have failed to understand the concerns of the overwhelming majority of our residents. Little history lesson. In 2023, our taxes were raised 67% and told it would pay for the new fire truck we recently received. That was not true. We were told that the day it was approved, that we would get grants to help pay for it, and 2% low interest loans from the Commonwealth of PA. None of that ever happened. The hard truth is the taxpayers will pay on it until 2034. They will have paid $500,000 in interest, and they will still owe almost $700,000 on it. We are not ruling out placing it up for sale, but we are reaching out to local elected officials for grants and plan to visit with the volunteer fire company who owns the current aerial truck to explore the sale of it and place those funds on the new one. Simply put, we don't need to, nor do we need to pay the insurance and upkeep on to. In addition, due to the declining in number of volunteers, people willing to be volunteer firemen, we intend to work with other local municipalities to explore a regional department who will provide the service that we're currently receiving at a lesser cost per resident. We have had a discussion with our career fire leadership and our Chief Kramer about this. They are in favor of a regional program. For the record, South Germain Township taxes have been raised 90% in the last 7 years. Unfortunately, at the course we are on, we're going to be afforded to raise taxes again as soon as next year. The $2 million fire truck is not the only elephant in the room. In 2025, we made $291,920 in lease payments for a skid loader, an excavator, 4 police cars, and for the fire department, a pickup truck, an Explorer, and 2 fire trucks. Next year, if we stay with the budget as presented, we will be paying $452,935 in lease payments, an increase of $161,000. We are discussing delaying this year's vehicle purchases and paying off or paying down to get out of paying interest. While we are discussing payments, our township makes $256,256, an interesting number, go play it, in bond payments annually to pay for the public works and the police facilities. Total next year's budget payments would be $709,191, and these are for equipment and buildings that we're committed to pay for. Deferred expenses are another issue. Our Public Works Director estimates we have between $5 and $7 million in deferred maintenance. These items include MS4 stormwater program that we are required to do. In fact, our township had $100,000 put aside to take care of that. We're required to do this from the state. And all of a sudden, nobody could find $100,000. Been asking where that went for about 4 or 5 years, and still nobody's found it. We have many storm sewers that are worn out and collapsing, like what happened on Berry Road. The pipes have simply wore out over time. All the development has created additional or moved stormwater issues to places we've never had them. And we have several issues that need engineering and repaired. Many of the roads have had a failing base for years, and repairs that were made were Band-Aids, completed for looks, not long-term wear, which lessens the life of paving that was performed. This was mainly caused by a previous manager taking the funds from the road department for other issues. Fortunately, our Public Works Department has the equipment and the expertise to complete most of the work in-house, but it all takes time and money for engineering and materials. There are other issues that are making us proactive to get our house in order. They include, as Mr. Mako said earlier, the Act 13 impact fees from the gas wells. They dry up in 50 years from when the wells are drilled. Those 15 years for the early wells will be ending soon. That declined $125,000 last year alone. The PA legislature is considering doing away with Act 13 money and putting in a severance tax, which would be paid to the entire state, and the township funds would disappear. In 2024, that was $400,000 that could go away overnight. Retirements, as people retire, our obligations increase. I remind you, South Germain wrote a check the day the new fire truck was purchased in September of, I believe, 2023. The check, or 22 or 23, Marie, what was that? 22, okay. The check was never sent for the pension until April the next year because the township didn't have the money. That cost the township $50,000 in assessments. And guess who paid it? We did. The COVID American Rescue Plan money, $700, was used to balance our budget in the past because we didn't have enough money to pay our bills. That wasn't meant for that. It could have been used for that, but it wasn't meant for that. In recent years, police retirements were not replaced as they retired, thus costing the township a lot of overtime because we couldn't afford to replace them. That has since been rectified and those officers have been replaced. Some of our parks are not up to current safety standards, and additional money will be included in this year's budget to make them pass inspection. Kevin and a staff member went recently to a meeting and learned about bringing our parks up to where they need to be. Employment-related costs are rising for the township. I can't begin to tell you the millions of dollars in mistakes that have been made by previous boards that have been paid by the township residents. Everyone says the past is the past, but the taxpayers have a right to know how the tax dollars have been spent. And what should be one of the most prosperous township in Washington County with all the retail establishments and have with the third highest millage rate struggles to pay its bills and carry over a comfortable fund balance every year. Previous boards responded to problems ultimately at a high cost to budget and the taxpayer. This board will be proactive. The bottom line is the current majority promised to be transparent, be accountable, and meet the majority of the residents' needs. That is now happening, and we hope we can do that as a team with all the supervisors, our staff, and our volunteers. Thank you.
Any other supervisors have any comments? Zach, do you have any comments? Zach?
Yeah, I just want to say that, there's been, we will be meeting with all the department heads. Okay, there's this draft that's out is nothing more than a rough draft. If you look at what we were given for 25, our budget for 25 was 8.4 million. Just so the township residents know, the actual spent for 25, the numbers are in, is 10.4 million. I think we went over a little bit. So what I'm saying is, I want a police department, not a half of a police department. I want a fire department, not half of a fire department. And I want a road department. So we have to get our house in order. We have to make the little cuts to the non-functioning government spending that we are doing, and it's out there. I've seen it. We are going to cut these things that have nothing to do with the functioning of government. If we are not willing to do that, then that is our department heads is saying, we're not willing to play ball. It's all or nothing. We have to have this. The numbers are inflated on their budget, but we will sit down. What is out there right now is not what it will be. Everybody will get what they need to be fully functional, and that's a promise.
What's the end year expenditures?
8.5.
8.5. Okay, thank you.
What was the difference, Marie?
It was some things that those transfers, like the Act 13 and things like that, that's included. And quickly explain that to Zach, that so the QuickBooks, there's different companies for different accounts. And a lot of times that gets misrepresented on that profit and loss statement. So I explained that to you all and gave you the expense versus revenue. And on that revenue, I had that down below how that equaled out, so you would all understand what should not be included in the 10 million. It's 8.5.
Thank you.
Did you hear that, Zach?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody else? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Thank you, everybody.